First time WWE produced WrestlePalooza, the latest addition to its PLE schedule, and for the final time John Cena and Brock Lesnar squared off, and AJ Lee made her return to the squared circle, and in the main event we saw Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre face off for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, a lot on this card, and the final battle in a legendary rivalry between Cena and Lesnar kicks things off and didn't waste time delivering fireworks as Paul Heyman emerged from the shadows and performed the Beast Incarnate special introduction. He didn't however hint at any further involvement with his former client. Once the bell rang, Lesnar utilised his power and ferocity to overwhelm the Unseen 17, tossing him around the ring and establishing dominance early and often. When Cena created separation and hoisted Lesnar up for the AA, the heel escaped and cut him down with a big clothesline. An errant change in the corner finally allowed Cena to mount an offense, including 4 shoulder tackles and 3 of his trademark finishes. Lesnar kicked out of 2, recovered and delivered 6 consecutive F5s to pick up a pretty easy win. After the match, he delivered an F5 to an official and added Cena standing tall to a chorus of bills, and many of whom were supporting Cena t-shirts. And yeah, gets a 5 out of 10 from me. I thought it was an alright match. I really expected Cena to win, or at least it to be more competitive. Hints at big plans for Brock, and yeah, intriguing to see where it all goes for Cena now. We then got the Usos versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, but a backstage confrontation in the early evening saw LA Knight was named as a special referee for this match. The heels dominated early on, weathering a brief onslaught from the Twins and isolating Jimmy, capitalising on what Knight had admitted during a pre-show about relaxed rules. The heels introduced a steel chair into the fray. Jimmy though turned it into against them, dropping Reed face first into it. The babyfaces couldn't capitalise though as Breakker broke up Heart Tag and retained the advantage for his team. Jimmy finally made the tag and Jay exploded, taking the fight to both heels and injecting much life into the contest. The babyface introduced a table into the fray, but its heel set it up to utilise. A few double super kicks led to the 1D, but Reed broke up the pin. The action broke down. Jimmy delivered a swanton bomb to Reed. Breakker speared him, and Jay delivered one of his own, followed by the Uso splash for a 2. The tension between Jay and referee Knight continues now, hitting the babyface's momentum. Breakker took advantage, delivering a double spear that drove both Usos through the table. So now to Jay earned the victory. I think this makes sense. A big win for the Bronze, and also really furthers the story between Jay and LA Knight. I'm intrigued to see where that goes. So yeah, 6 out of 10. We then got the Women's World Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky, 2 of the most respected and acclaimed wrestlers in the world, squaring off and grappling early way to give the genius of the Sky taking control of the match, while the commentary team questioned whether Le Primera could defeat one of the best in the business on a stage of this magnitude. The former champ caught Vaquer with a springboard dropkick, then followed up with a tope suicida that flattened the Chilean-born competitor at ringside. Vaquer fought back, launching herself off the ropes with a consecutive crossbody blocks and downing her opponent with a suplex. The combatants exchanged rights that transitioned into forearms. The crowd came alive as Vaquer teased the Devil's Kiss, but Sky countered a roll-up or 2. A double stomp gave way to a crossface, but Vaquer escaped. La Primera caught Sky mid-flight, blocking the over-the-moon salt with 2 boots to the midsection. She followed up with a second Dragon's Crew leg whip of the match, then added a Devil's Kiss to the delight of the fans. Sky recovered and stopped her opponent on the top rope, delivering a Spanish Fly. Sky exposed her knees for an added effect on her moonsault, but missed, driving the injured joint into the mat. Vaquer responded with a picture-perfect spiral tap for the win and the title. Great stuff, 8 out of 10. Huge moment for Stephanie Vaquer, and for me the best match on the night by a big margin. Absolutely love this. We then got AJ Lee setting foot inside the WWE ring again, with CM Punk teaming up against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Rollins and Punk defined the early moments of the match, with the world champion beating his rival down, isolating him from his significant other, all while Lynch added a few insulting slats for good measure. Feeling confident, Rollins hoisted Becky overhead and attempted to drop her on Punk, but the beast in the world rolled out of the way and Lynch crashed to the mat. Still, with the heels retained control of the bout, Harry Biff once again proved costly as Rollins mockingly slipped around the ring, only to hit a GTS from Punk for his troubles. Lynch tried to prevent the tag but failed, and Lee made her pay. Lee pummeled the man of chance, who still got it, then added a shot or 2 for good measure to her husband. Punk and Lee teamed up for a modified sliced bread number 2, then added stereo running knees, bulldogs and shining wizards. A double submission spot saw Lee apply the Black Widow to Lynch and Punk for the sharpshooter to Rollins, but the world champ raked Punk's eye to break up the moment. Lynch and Rollins, not to be outdone, delivered a double pedigree but could not keep their opponents down. Moments later, Lynch applied for sharpshooter to Punk to little effect, where the babyfaces countered and applied the holds to big time Beck. The exchange of finishes continued till Lynch delivered a manhandle slam to Lee, who kicked out at the last second. Ultimately, a commentary table spot left Lee with Lynch, who tried to manhandle slam, only to find herself trapped in the Black Widow. The IC champ tapped, and the babyfaces stood tall in the centre of the ring. 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, this was a really good match. Just so good to see AJ Lee back in the WWE ring. I don't think the match was that memorable, but of course I will remember it for AJ Lee being back in the ring, and I think it was a successful return. 7 out of 10. And in our main event, it was Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Rhodes was dealing with the effects from the beatdown on Friday, stumbling during a Cody Cutter attempt and noting to be a step off according to Wade Barrett. Even when the American Nightmare did mount the fences, such as a superplex from the top rope, he responded slowly, holding the back of his head. He shook it off, traded right to McIntyre and added a snap power slam for a 2. Back and forth continued until McIntyre experienced a turnbuckle. With the ref's attention diverted, they rolled up the champ but could not benefit from the official count. The Scottish Warrior teased a claymore through the table, but the ref prevents it. When McIntyre executes the move, he missed, potentially destroying his leg in the process. The injury prevents him from delivering a claymore in the ring, and Rhodes took advantage of it, delivering a super Cody Cutter to allow the victory. And Jack, that's 7 out of 10 for me. A pretty fun match. Never really felt like a title change was going to happen here, but it's no doubt still a fun match and a cool finishing sequence too. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Overall, WrestlePalooza gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Overall, WWE jam-packed this card with huge stars and made a big deal about it and delivered a slick presentation. The second half of the card was excellent. With that being said, maybe the Cena Lesnar match didn't quite hit its marks. And yeah, there were a few things that they had to recover from earlier in the show. I'll give it 6 out. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.